they're going to do. I like Aster's draft personally, but hey, if there's anything that's going to surprise me, I mean, this AM, it's totally, it's totally cool versus what they saw already, right? Versus the Ember, versus the DP, versus the Coddle and Disruptor. He can be effective, but there are things still that are going to trip him up. There is Silence from DP, there's a Static Storm from Disruptor, and Chains can be a little bit annoying until you do have, Manta and stuff like that. So, wondering what build. Is he gonna just go Battle Fury? Is he gonna go fighting build? I'm super curious to see what this AM pick is gonna be about.
Right, sort of as they were alluding to, because it was talking about this, like with this IO, undiscovered territory, maybe there is something there you can pair together with the overcharge and start like getting in there to battle early. Maybe we see like a Vanguard or something like that.
Yeah.
Or Shiro just does the thing that, again, everybody loves to hate and builds a Battle Fury, and they're just sad, but we'll see. It's a pretty
great Manta game, right? Just to be able to dispel the silences, the chains, and stuff like that. And with all the buff ups, right? He's gonna have sidekick. He's gonna be tethered. He's gonna be amped up. Like SD's always gonna be there to save and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, this is an interesting one to watch. Aster though, with a very comfortable draft. Baboka, an absolute beast last game. Got a respect ban of his Rubik. Now he's playing his
Coddle.
Amazing Coddle too, with great heroes to play with too. Chakra, Ember, Chakra, PA, Chakra even on Death Prophet. All these heroes thrive when you get that little bit of cooldown reduction and stuff like that. Especially the PA and Ember. You're just able to kind of reset those cooldowns so they can jump all over the place in the fights, constantly put pressure. But let's see. We have a fun combo that I like to always mention on the side of PSG.LGD also. It's the Marcy plus the Pango. Sidekick plus Pango Swashbuckle. It's like a little built-in satanic kind of style thing too. So yeah, let's see.
I just also realized, I was thinking a little bit more about what this game is going to look like. We're probably going to see Bobica just be AFK farming at certain points in this game with his Illuminate spam.
Yep.
Like, probably going to see so many camps stacked up, and then will there be any ability to contest them? Obviously, nothing to say on the Pango. A great hero to come and contest them, not necessarily take them himself, but that's something that could be there to watch for.
Yeah. He is in this matchup, though, that we see very often, the Ember versus the Pango, so a little tough for nothing to say. He's not like this dominant Kunkka like he was last time. This is a bit Ember favored, so we'll see how he's going to be able to fare to be able to make those early moves. And I'm mostly just going to stare at top lane, because, yeah, I'm just like, I haven't gotten to see IO, or I haven't seen AM, and I've never, I think, seen IO plus AM together, so, yeah, it's definitely the lane, at least for me, to watch. Because I feel like Aster, they have great lanes across the board just to be able to come out ahead in them, and then if they can stabilize and just get this PA's farm, PA should, in theory, be able to outscale the AM pretty hard, so.
One of the more traditional, well-known counter picks. And that's the thing, too, is like, people talking about whose draft they like more than the other. To me, I feel like I understand the Aster draft.
Yeah, me too.
That's the biggest thing. Like with LGD, they're coming out of left field, maybe come up with some new tech as they will get a couple of right clicks here on Bobica, forcing him back. And of course, with that Orb of Venom and Overcharge, able to get some good damage out.
Yeah, good harass. Yeah, that's why I'm like, I want to know what the hell, what they're gonna do with it. I'm so curious to see what PSG.LGD's idea is with it. Very cool stuff.
For now, at least, they have pretty good lane control up top for Aster, getting it pulled back into their tower. You can see here mid, nothing to say, has dropped very low. Does get that bottle brought out to him now, though. So XWY and him will just trade off those water runes. Resets things a little bit, but he is behind. Yeah, as you might expect.
Yeah, it's going to be a much slower start versus the Ember matchup. Another thing too is that the more about the PA that I really like, besides just being the counter matchup versus the AM, is also versus Marcy. It can be a bit difficult to itemize because it's going to come a lot later if you do want to opt to go for something like that MKB. Blur is going to be incredibly effective versus these two cores.
Yeah, that is definitely a problem that Monet's going to need to contend with, or rather, excuse me, Jianyu's going to need to contend with in this game, and maybe just the answer is you hit other heroes instead, but that leaves him open.
For sure. Bottom.
Glimpse forces him away, gets some good damage there out on Jianyu.
They're just spamming the daggers on him, keeping him kind of low. Even though he's getting all these stick charges on both the SD and the Marcy, they're not slowing down Monet at all, and he is actually being able to free farm and put pressure onto Marcy. So 3 lanes looking in pretty damn good for Aster. AM is getting that farm, though.
Yeah, AM also having a very nice time for Shiro and going into those treads early. Hasn't queued up any other items as of yet, but this lane has consistently been pressed up right against the off-lane tower.
Yeah, they will get a pull-off, though. Nice play there from Why You Smile. He gets the pull between the, between that tree, of course, pulling up toward the tower. As mid.
Ooh. Yikes. That is a scary moment right there, but obviously did have that bottle charge, sips it up a little bit, but nothing to say. He's going to have to head off to the side. Jianyu down bottom is going to get ran down by Monet, wraps around the trees, gets vision there for the dagger, and that's going to be first blood. First blood for the PA.
Oh, God. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that is that might be a really bad sign there for PSG.LGD. The ideal hero for Aster getting the kill. Free farming in the lane. Ember free farming too. Like we said, we're going to have to see what PSG.LGD's idea with all this is, but yeah, Aster's just looks much more normal.
This is a hero for Monet that he is very well accustomed to.
Yeah.
I think when he first started popping off as a carry back in the LFY days, he was one of the few that was playing it there too. But
yeah,
regardless, nothing to say, not having a great time there mid. XWY keeps on forcing him out of lane, and he's going to head back and have to pick up that bounty rune.
Yeah, Monet, I'm glad that you brought that up, actually, because it's something that I've always watched Monet as just this incredible super carry player. When he used to play his PAs and his Terrorblades, he was just unbelievably good. Like, he always was like split-second kind of timings with BKBs and all this crazy stuff. And yeah, him being able to have this type of start and in this type of matchup, yeah, should be some success for them for sure.
Planet. He's going to go in somewhat here. Monet trying to create that separation between him and those supports. A fifth stack of poison could have been pretty nice, but not going to be able to do anything. And Monet literally just bullying back this Marcy, even with the full creep wave on him.
He is owning so hard. Like, all these little plays matter so much.
Is he going to die again?
Oh my God.
Does have that dispose, is going to try and slow this down a bit. Planet pulled that creep wave back in,
Nice.
and that's going to be enough to keep him alive. Monet wants to go back for the creep wave. But yeah, this is not a good time for this Marcy at all. Gets a salve passed over. Not even going to get like the full value out of that one, obviously.
He's getting like no farm. He has 13 last hits down here. While we see on the other side, Aster, 26 and 6 on the Death Prophet, and even the Coddle. I mean, Baboka, of course, 12 last hits for him too. Yeah, this is an excellent game plan that so far everything is working out perfectly, really, for Aster.
And you saw there too, even like the poison drew the aggro of the creep wave over so that it reconnects again.
And they get the first power rune as well, XWY. It's not a DD or something like that, but it's a regen, so he can just stand his ground. Is now bottom.
This is 2 levels ahead right now for Monet. Gets another kill. And, I mean, they've got to be careful even when they TP back in, right? Like, Glimpse to go back to Fountain as a possible play.
Oh, boy. Yeah, AM is going to have to do some heavy carrying. He's going to have to do some crazy stuff. So, yeah, Battle Fury's queued up. So it's not going to be that too much of that fighting build. Maybe just with the IO with him, he'll be able to, but... You know, we're all hopeful. We're all hoping for this game 3, of course, but I don't know. Aster's game plan looks kind of amazing, and Monet getting this type of start is devastating for PSG.LGD.
Yeah, it felt like there needed to be some like change up, some switch in terms of the mentality with this draft from LGD to really make this work. And of course, there is still going to be the strength of an Anti-Mage with the IO overcharge and the sidekick, all the rest of it, but will that be enough to sort of go toe-to-toe against this hard counter in the PA?
Yeah. As bottom rotation's coming out, but he's already under tower, nothing to say. Tries to make the first move here, but won't be able to find anything.
And Ember, completely free lane, is going to go back behind the tower now as Shiro eats one of those Illuminate blasts. And you can see that Aster, while the lane is pushing in top, they're getting free farm for there. XWY has got this regen rune and going to start to put some pressure onto this mid tower.
Yeah, everything just going super ideal for them while they also shut down Marcy. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Aster is beasts.
They're killing it.
They know exactly how to play their drafts. They know exactly how to set up these picks and everything too, yeah. This is looking really good for them going into the mid game. And we're now seeing Baboka. I mean, Baboka's actually just farming. He's like, all right, Death Prophet's fine top. Level 6 is picked up for XXS. He's gone phase boots this game on the Death Prophet to be able to distance himself. And because he wants to change the itemization, Baboka's like, I'll get the mech.
Dude, why are they bullying him? They're actually not going to dive him under tower. I was wondering if they were going to go all the way in, and instead it's run back towards this side. Baboka, trying to get out of there. Not looking like it's going to happen. So they do find themselves the first kill on the board, and trying to punish some more here onto the Ember. XWY keeps the right clicks going. Nothing to say, losing a lot of HP. This is maxed out Slight.
Went for the chains, doesn't quite get it. Yeah, XWY knows that he can just fight back right there.
When I read that name, I find myself questioning if I actually know the alphabet.
I say XYW, I think every time as well, too. I'm like, damn it.
Like, I know those are all near the end of the alphabet, but isn't it in a different order? 9 minutes in, and AM is top of the net worth.
Sure is. But what's he going to be able to do, right? What's this AM's big game plan, especially with that counter pick of the PA last? He has gone for Corrosion. He's going for... So it's kind of fighty. So it's Treads, Corrosion, and then Battle Fury. So at least he's able to pressure a bit onto this Death Prophet. But Aster, don't think that they're too fussed about it by any means. As now rotation.
Root there, onto 2. A second round soon to come out. Bringing Why You Smile very low. Ember Coddle still very good in the Remnant Chase. Sleight of Fist does connect for the kill.
And he's got another shocker in a second, too, if he wants to pump up his buddy. Sure does.
Will do just that. Great way to enable an Ember.
Oh, yeah. And it's IO. You know, you might be the one that's trying to protect. Oh, actually, we're seeing bottom. They're actually moving.
That was the bait. Oh wow. My God. They waited there under tower. Monet is like, yeah, come on, dispose me.
He's high-fiving. That's how confident. Monet doesn't do that very often. So the fact that he's even doing that says a lot. But top, Shiro will find himself a little bit of a snag. Nicely done. Yeah, heavy lifting is going to have to be done from this AM. Cool rotation from XXS. He's like, I don't want to play top versus AM. You know, I want to come bottom. Top tower might get me killed if I go for an exorcism play. So, yeah, opens it up. XWY.
Take some more Shadow Poison stacks. Nothing to say. Sort of stays after him for a moment, but then we'll get out of there. So yeah, just trying to play around these DP cooldowns feels to be a pretty smooth way to play this for Aster. And I guess, you know, for the PA, getting into that big Battle Fury to allow him to just keep even with the farm with the AM.
Yeah.
As Bobica has Mechanism done, trying to get into those Arcanes next.
So early.
Yeah.
Support, by the way. He almost has same net worth as the Marcy. A typical Boboka thing is Aster even look at this body blocking their catapult mid and then tanking the wave so they can try to get some extra damage on tower. All the little things here.
Trying to put that pressure on as soon as possible, and the wave comes in, slight spam, hits onto him, heal there, the damage back on, and nothing to say. They're trying to stop this. They will use the glyph now, but still willing to keep this pressure on, and SD almost going down. They're still tanking through this tower here. And the heals, they're out. It's going to be enough to keep it alive. They even use the glyph. They still have that mech ready.
That's a
if they decide to try and take this fight. It will connect, brings him low, but the mech to save. It's not enough.
Planet.
Too greedy.
Planet, what a play. He gets the 5th stack, puts the disruption on, and they get the commitment. I was going to say, they have some struggles to be able to control this Ember, but that is probably the best and only way that they can do it on their team here, as Planet really nicely done hiding in the tree line there. Yeah, too confident from XWY.
They need to be able to replicate, like, eating, you know, 3 or 4 tower shots over and over again. But, well, that's one way to do it, for sure. Marcy, Bracer done, and the Helm of the Iron Will, so it's been a slow start for Jianyu. He's definitely been hampered in this one, but it's going to need to sort of make some comeback happen, trying to find his way onto these targets.
Yeah, he's good covering at least level, so he'll have sidekick for his Pango and for his AM in those fights. Shiro, 600 ahead of the PA. He is going to be able to get the Battle Fury. And a very good timing.
Yeah, on top of those Treads, Corrosion. And, well, we'll be trying to play together with them. Like you said, very much a little bit ahead of that Monet PA. But so much pressure put towards this mid lane. It feels like Aster want to get this mid tower taken without having to commit Exorcism for it.
Yeah, they want to be able to kick the pace of the game up a little bit, slow down where the AM can farm. If they can just shut down the map a little bit, then it allows Monet to play more aggressively. They also can get these deeper wards to be able to watch AMs.
Dude, they're going to try and find this kill onto Marcy again. They're so close to level 6 on Disruptor.
That's why he leaves the lane, right? Monet, he goes to jungle. He's like, all right, I can just chill for a little bit, Disruptor, you get 6, and then we can actually threaten kills constantly onto Jianyu. Really understanding how to be as efficient as possible.
Giving this team the rest of the space that they need to, and XYW, XWY, I will take down that mid tower.
Yeah, nicely done. Persists for a very long time there. Still seeing PSG.LGD in a fine spot, at least in the net worth, of course. And I believe that is the, Battle Fury's done. And they've got stack, at least 1 stack prepped for him to farm.
Shiro there.
Oh, he does not do that by himself. As they actually get the kill bottom.
Okay, relocate for the rotation.
Okay. Getting back online. Marcy now level 9 out of nowhere.
And likewise, up top, there is a counter play being made by Aster as they are just right-clicking down that tower, but the relocate back in. And XWY continues the slight spam, does have another one in a moment. Thought about going for that roll, but it's a rune up top.
Ooh,
oh no, down bottom.
Yeah, he tried to wait for it as long as possible, but was scared because Nothing to Say has defusal and all that too. So, all right. LGD finding their footing here, back to a 2K lead for them. XXS literally just beat. I mean, he does not want to use Exorcism for this.
No.
He just wants to finish it off, and he should be able to now.
Bringing in help from the Ember. He gets the last hit onto it.
Nicely done.
So the gold lead into the favor of LGD slightly, the tower lead into the favor of Aster.
And Monet now has Battle Fury, and he can farm stacks incredibly effective, only just by himself. And they actually have a big stack already prepped for him. He can just blur and hit it if he'd like to, so we'll see that right away.
One of those creeps decided to draw aggro there.
It's like,
Not sure what that's
it's
about.
still chasing XXS.
Yeah.
It had no other target, and he was in the AoE, right? So.
Yeah. Clearing through this one as quickly as possible. Will get the full stack clear and then have the respawn ready. But XWY roots and runs. He gets out of harm's way. And yeah, Monet, another one of those heroes that is just going to absolutely explode in terms of farm, particularly when paired together with Bobica that spams out these chakras over and over again.
Yeah, he doesn't need to worry about any mana pool or anything. His bottom, Marcy, has Phase and Armlet, so a great recovery coming out from him. Does still have to be a little careful. Can just get caught out here if he plays over aggressive. But perhaps trying to... He might be setting up a relocate play, and then he might get turned on. It seems like Aster may be reading this move.
I have an idea that this could be coming their way. And
He's sneaking into the trees.
Pichu off to the side. They're calling for it right now.
They know he's there. They're waiting for the play.
Oh, man. This is...
XXS is baiting. That's what it feels like for the relocate play.
If they know about this.
Whoop.
Slight.
Scouts
hits. And yeah, he's in some trouble now. Gotta run. John Yu. Pig pull.
Gets away.
Well, heads up call right there from
Love it.
whoever it was on LGD to not go for that bait.
As we said, I mean, these two teams have just insane understanding of how to play the map and how to kind of play versus each other and bait each other in scenarios. Now XWY is by himself down bottom.
Another slight comes out, and that signals, okay, he's in the area.
And he's actually going to join his buddies in mid.
Wanting to make use of this static storm.
They're going to hit some really fast timings on this AM. He already has Yasha and the Manta recipe. So yeah, Treads, Battle Fury Manta, and then he can probably just join all the fights with his team. Just being able to prevent, you know, those silences, as we mentioned before, and the chains in particular from Ember Spirit.
For PA, going to be that little bit behind, but still keeping pretty even, at least with the Pango, as they're going immediately. Monet went for the blur to try and get out. The vision not there, blown up. That is perfect for LGD.
And Shiro gets the last hit, so big gold going his way. And that's, yeah, soon the Manta. They will be brought back, though.
Oh, and gets out of there with the haste, just barely. They will kill off that Isle, but nothing to say. Rolls back in. Trying to make something happen right there. Jianyu finds Bobica. Tries to get a little bit of separation there. XWY, they're not killing Bobica. He gets out, and now the Chakra, the second round, they kill off the Marcy.
What a halberd.
That was everything they needed and a bit more, and now Planet wants to pop that ultimate, wants to get out of harm's way, but it won't happen. So they find a couple key kills after losing their PA.
What a, I mean, beautiful halberd coming out from XXS. Playing with his buddy Baboka, I mean, they always cover each other perfectly. They've played together for, what, 7 years, right? So these guys just have perfect understanding of... But Nothing to Say does survive, right? So that's the one, I guess, the one positive there for PSG.LGD, was able to trickle out of that static storm. But they do lose 3 heroes.
Still, getting that PA kill that you just saw and then allowing AM to keep the farm game going. This is a recipe for success right now for LGD, it feels like, in some ways at least. Another DD for Nothing to Say.
This AM has to be ahead in net worth in this game versus the PA. As we said, you know, the counter matchup and stuff like that, so he can itemize, so he can always survive and not get dealt with just like straight counter matchup, of course, is, yeah, Shiro. Manta's done, level 15. PA only level 12. PSG.LGD have a great timing right now to be able to pressure map.
Yeah, and it's going to need to come down to those plays like we just saw, the Static Storm,
Yeah.
to really try and find that control onto AM, wait for a Shiro overextension perhaps, or set up for him on a kill. But it's not easy, and XWY has been having a really good game on this Ember despite being not super high in terms of net worth. He's been able to really draw a lot of attention around for himself. And
Shiro with Manta's ready to fight.
they go right on in, but Static Storm down and now in trouble. Can they all in onto this Anti-Mage? Do they even want to try and do that? Still getting healed back up. Why You Smile keeps Shiro alive, and the Static Storm was not enough. With nobody else nearby, they could not make that kill happen, and
XWY.
he has to get out of here. Bobaca shows up. That gives the extra mana a slight dodge. Remnant, no, he can't get out. XWY dies, but the jump in, XXS tries to turn. Not sure if this one's going to be enough here, as I'm going to say just gets out of there.
My God, I mean, PSG.LGD, they're making this draft work. They're even, it's like we said, all the buff ups for the AM. They use even the demonic cleanse on him too, so can't get chained during this duration. Has Pupil's Gift, so super tanky can just commit in. Yeah, this is actually working out. So the AM, you know, they had this idea, and it's definitely coming to fruition for now.
3,000 gold ahead of Monet. And,
Huge.
I mean, you know, you think about the way that these fights want to work out. If you can control them, like we saw with that Static Storm, it's great, but you have to have either the Death Prophet Exorcism going or Monet there for the damage to be there, because it is way too big of a hero right now to kill off with them. And jump right at the start. Monet turns, wants to blow him up. This is a very tanky Marcy. Monet cannot take this fight. Has to get help or has to get away, but the Spose and tries to jump out. Marcy's still on the hunt here, but won't go for it. There wasn't a relocate available.
But putting pressure onto Monet, tons of it. They're slowing down this PA's farm significantly. AM is humongous. And the smoke? Aster, do still want to try to pick a fight with Static Storm here. LGD. Whoop.
Nothing to say. Will he get glimpsed? It looks like he will. Static. No, roll up.
Oh, baby.
All right, now LGD, they might be willing to go for more.
Oh, yeah. AM has a basher as well. I mean, like 2 items ahead of the PA at the moment. Wow.
XWY, every time he steps forward, there's just a nice little salvo of Diffusal Blade onto him, draining that mana. Pango, one of these heroes, the panel talked about it, just feels so strong in this meta.
Yeah, so annoying to play versus an Ember Spirit for sure. When he's got this item, of course. Yeah, just that mana burn is very effective. And yeah, the roll-up, I mean, it's another thing now that Aster's probably not going to go for that play again unless they can catch him on the initial go. But a quick blink out, PSG.LGD playing map perfect, 6K lead. The AM is working. Level 17 as well.
He is so incredibly farmed on Shiro.
Yep, and I just see Marcy constantly hiding in trees, waiting for a potential jump. As there's the relocate, they glyph.
BKB, TP out, but the bash looks for it and finds it. Oh, Monet, it's just not your day. As will get the jump to try and escape. They have full vision, and Shiro cleans up.
Potential Roche now.
They want to go in for that one. That was just a little bit of luck and a lot of anticipation. And now, nothing to say. Rolls through, finds him. Right at the beginning, a good blinding light pushback, trying to bring down this Ember. And do they have enough damage? Yes.
Wow. And yeah, now they get the Roche and a big kill out of it. Wow. I mean, this draft, it looks like it is going to be working out for them. They are slowing down the PA constantly. She's not looking to be able to get online in time. LGD, Zhao 8, the big brain.
I feel like I can just hear the panel in the green room right now. LGD.
They're like, yes, game 3.
Feel very good about it right now for this LGD lineup with a 9K gold lead and an Anti-Mage that's completely taken over. If you think back to last game, there was that sort of like slight lead that went on. There were moments where it felt like LGD was in control of the game, and then like 1 or 2 sort of misplays, not having buyback on Shiro. It did cost them that in some respect at least, but this feels like kind of a different level of, I don't know, lead that they're holding on to.
Yeah, and they're not playing like, I mean, they are kind of playing this 4 Protect 1, but it's, I mean, the AM is just absolutely enormous. So.
And there's no Doom.
No, and there is no Doom.
So, 7-9, but
he's about to have Abyssal. Holy moly.
We haven't seen Anti-Mage in so long.
Yeah, how does Ember Spirit play now at this point, right? Versus the Diffusal that was out, of course, for the Pango, versus this AM who can lock him down with Basher plus Abyssal. Game feeling pretty hard for Aster to find this space for Monet, because the other thing too is they're playing versus the IO, as we've seen multiple times, where it's like Monet trying to find space to farm, and then a relocate comes in. So map is closed off of pretty massively here. As level 20, Shiro at 23 minutes on an AM.
And every time you look, it's that other item done. So the Abyssal Blade done. Wei is out of control.
774 GPM.
That's not bad. That's a pretty good one right there.
Pretty damn good.
Tier 2 tower gonna drop. Obviously no contention going on for this one at all with the Aegis on the AM. You're not gonna be killing her twice. Does go into the Butterfly next, which is an item that, I mean, you know, it feels like it's a great answer for the PA.
Yeah, then the PA is actually the one who has to go and itemize for MKB instead of the side of PSG.LGD. This is a treat to watch.
Well, the rotation on in. Shiro spots. Yeah, Ember, and immediately drains the mana, but not quite enough. Okay, that's a start, but oh my god, that Death Prophet just gets obliterated. And Marcy is back online after a very frustrating laning stage, I'm sure. Jian Yu is having a much better time of it now.
Yeah, looks like we're gonna go game 3. Woo.
It's happening.
Shiro, I mean, he just jumps in.
Bobica, they're ready. They are pissed off about how it went last time around and ready to walk high ground now and start taking down this tier 3 tower.
Glyph was already used too. They actually popped it right away when Shiro jumped in. Looks like LGD have completely decimated the map.
Yeah. At some points, it's just Anti-Mage becomes too strong, and having all these buffs, the overcharge, like we talked about, the sidekick, just doing way too much damage, and Aster don't have what it takes.
Yeah, definitely not. Like Monet just tickles.
Even if they find this big static storm right here, I don't think it's really going to matter all that much, and maybe can go for some type of a glimpse. Can't get vision. Wouldn't have mattered anyways, I don't think.
Would have probably just stood his ground on the AM and been able to survive. And he has Aegis too, so yeah. So many defensive things. SD could have just disrupted, also cleansed. Yeah, probably would have actually gotten all of Aster killed if they did get the glimpse on the AM.
Jian Yu pushes out bottom now.
Their map is completely restricted on Aster. Look at Monet, he's farming a hard camp, but he's under vision immediately. And even the triangle area too. They're controlling and they have a ward on it as well.
Are they going to be able to even leave their base again, even for those couple of little movements there? It feels pretty unlikely. Shiro pushes out that top lane, and now Monet again playing under vision, but it's you know, the blur will help at least a little bit with that.
He can't farm anywhere. Can't go bottom because there's a Marcy that'll jump and they'll get a relocate on. Can't go mid because he'll get jumped by the Pango. There's no space for him to farm. 830 GPM. Just watch this AM's items just continue to jump out. Butterfly's about to be finished too. Good God.
Shiro is a monster. I mean, this is when I think they've looked the best for LGD, when they've really enabled Shiro to get, like, be that be-all, end-all carry. I think back to the, like, Lina games, obviously, that hero no longer going to be able to be played by anybody, but you can see he's smiling, laughing, feeling very good about this situation.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this was after Aster had a really successful laning phase, too, right? They're the ones who took the towers early on. They're the ones who were getting the PA free farm. It seems that, yeah, LGD, they came with the strat, and the strat has been working beautifully. Shiro up to high ground, 20 seconds on Aegis. Says hello.
It's a strat as old as time. Pick Anti-Mage and get the bash. And Monet, okay, gets healed back up. The BKB just trying to escape, seeing if they can take down this Marcy. Not looking like it's super likely, as that is a dead Death Prophet. Static Storm dropped down. Aegis about to expire, and does now expire. Okay, XWY trying to control on Shiro. Silence is there, but the disruption to keep him alive. XXS, but the blink back means that Shiro is going to be fine.
And he reflects the glimpse.
Just barely able to get out of harm's way.
It's an expensive fight for Aster, though, to just hang on here.
And will at least get one return kill after taking down the Marcy and the SD. It is going to be why you smile falling. So 3 go down as that high ground push came out.
The important heroes got out, though. The AM with that nice little counterspell versus the glimpse, and with his buddies all bailing him out. They threw their lives for him. Aster, can they get anything out of this? Did they get how many Deso? Okay, 2 Deso stacks for Monet there, at least. So very small silver lining at the very least for Aster. But yeah, expensive, and they can't actually get their lanes out, and there's nothing really for them to acquire after this.
Yeah, A good move in to sort of save Monet's life there with Bobica, all those heals coming out in time, and then of course the timing on the Static Storm as that Aegis was just expiring. There was a moment where they maybe could have done something to Shiro, but as you said, being able to reflect that glimpse meant that there wasn't any real
right
play.
here. See the poor Disruptor glimpses himself backwards, so really well played. The whole draft is about the AM, so Planet just like, yep, I'm going to throw my life away. Who cares? It's all about saving Shiro. Speaking of Planet also, super farmed. So much space. Aghanims is about to be done, so he's going to not only have the triple offensive purge, which is going to break the PA, he's also going to have the demonic cleanses to just make sure that Shiro can kind of do whatever the hell he pleases in the fight, dispelling all those silences and chains constantly.
Dude, SD is such a good pick this game. Like, against DP, Ember, and PA, you freaking love that ulti.
Yeah.
That is so nice for them. Man, LGD, what a draft. It looked super strange, but like it's coming together perfectly.
Yeah, everything has looked... After laning phase, everything's looked amazing. Yeah, nothing to say. 5-0 and 5. Like, yeah, everyone playing perfect. The only people who really died was like the Marcy and the supports.
Monet shows bottom for a moment, and the ward expiring as Disruptor checks for it. LGD, they might have caught sight of that kinetic field, and so they will back out together, it looks like. So no smoke connection for any kills or anything like that. And Planet sitting with a very interesting looking inventory there.
The dream.
Arcanes and some mags.
Yep. As Monet trying to build toward this MKB. Has level 18, so does have that max crit built in. But yeah, the fight's super difficult because who does he focus fire? If the AM isn't dealt with, the AM's going to kill everybody. So for Monet, it's like, I want to jump the backline. I want to jump the SD or the IO, but it just feels like he probably can't. They also have itemized to deal with him, as we've mentioned. You know, these Ghost Scepters. See the Ghost Scepter plus Glimmer on While You Smile. Planet, after his Aghanims, has Ghost Scepter Q too. So many layers of being able to protect themselves. Aster trying to get some maybe surprise here onto LGD.
Nothing to say, does swash in, but immediately jumps out. And now a smoke from them as they will run in towards mid.
Okay, I mean, I guess they're just like, we need to try to contest Roche if they go for it by any means or the game's just over.
Yeah.
Can barely kill, if anything, even kill AM once, definitely not twice.
And LGD's like, okay, well, nobody's home. They must be
wrap.
smoked up. And it feels like they now know where they're at.
Yep.
Immediately get that D-ward. And are they going to just try and take the fight to him? XXS
Shiro's
on the
just
low
in.
ground pops it. Okay. Keeping him under control and immediately Bash brought down low, but gets the Remnant out. Not a terrible way to start the fight. That one is kind of rough. Gets the Ogre Seal to get away, but Shiro with that BKB is there for the chase down. XWY, they won't be able to get in range to catch him, but they will get this Disruptor, who has no escape.
Felt like a kind of desperate play from Aster to look for something there. The AM. Shiro, like we said, no fear at all in the world, just jumps into everybody. Also still, I believe, hung on to the illusion in the bottle. So was ready to be able to fight with that too. Another Dispel, of course. My God, 844 GPM, staying consistent.
Keeps farming, keeps fighting, finding those pickoffs that they need, and well, every time you look, it's more and more damage, and Aster, no way in the world to deal with this hero. Staggers get thrown back the other direction.
It actually reflected Mindbreaker back on.
Oh, nice.
It's actually pretty funny. He got silenced for a second. Rax being brought down.
Door.
And Roche next on the horizon.
Man.
Alrighty.
Clean play, and looking like we're definitely heading for that game number 3, barring some type of horrific display. It would take a lot at this stage.
Yep. Shiro laughing it up.
0%.
Yeah, it definitely feels like that. MKB soon for Monet, but yeah, like we said, so many layers of how the hell does he target heroes. Shiro, now Aegis, 2 or 3 items ahead of him.
So, has that Aghanim shard. See where he decides to pass it off to, but you can just watch these SD charges get thrown out in the next fight as they get set up to finish this one off.
Yep, one more fight.
Shiro walks up, spots, hey, Monet is there, jumps right on top of the DP, and a BKB comes out, but you can see LGD doing what damage they can. They actually overcharge onto the Marcy now. finding themselves Monet. He gets a little bit of separation.
They're on the SD.
XXS there, and they do kill off one of these saving supports. But with nothing to say, rolling back and forth, Monet did not stand a chance. They kill off the Marcy, but everybody else starts to die, and GG is going to be called.
Woo!
LGD force game 3.
Yes, I mean, yeah, we're
That's
all
what he
blessed.
wants.
I mean, everybody's blessed. Viewers, us, etc. Yeah, phenomenal. I mean, I had a little bit of doubts and reservations about the AM, but I was completely wrong about it, and it works beautifully. They made so much space, pressured the map. Monet had nowhere to farm.